Welcome to HDTV. You now rocking with your boy. Now, basically, during this COVID situation, we've had a lot of deaths. We've had a lot of deaths of young people, middle-aged people, even older people. But what people aren't understanding is about the small businesses. The small businesses out here are dying off, and no one's really talking about it. So, an article in the Bloomberg done by Madeline Go or Nego, small businesses are dying by the thousands, and no one is tracking the carnage. Now, big companies are going bankrupt at a a record pace, but that's only part of the carnage. By some accounts, small businesses are disappearing by the thousands amid the COVID-19 pandemic. And the drag on the economy from these failures could be huge. This wave of silent failures goes uncounted in part because real-time data on on small business is notoriously scarce, and because owners of small firms often have no debt and thus no need for bankruptcy court. Probably all you need to do is call the utilities and tell them to turn them off and close your door, said William Duckelberg, who runs a monthly survey as chief economist for the National Federation of Independent Business. Nevertheless, closures are going to be well above normal because we're in a disastrous economic situation, Duckelberg said. Yelp Incorporated, the online reviewer, has data showing more than 80,000 permanently shuttered from March 1st to July 25th. About 60,000 were local businesses or firms with fewer than 5 locations. About 800 small businesses did indeed file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy from mid-February to July 31st. And this is according to the American Bankruptcy Institute. And the trade group expects the 2020 total could be up 36% from last year. While the businesses are small individually, the collective impact of their failures could be substantial. Firms with fewer than 500 employees account for about 44% of U.S. economic activity. Now, according to a U.S. Small Business Administration report, they employ almost half of all American workers. Justine Bacon permanently shut her yoga brain studio in Philadelphia. Shut her yoga brain studio in Philadelphia after deciding it was too dangerous to hold indoor classes because of the pandemic. Bacon didn't file for bankruptcy. She just simply closed up shop and went out of business on June 30th. I felt it better to close with some money in the account and not have to worry about bankrupting the business, said Bacon, 35. No help. Chapter 11 bankruptcy gives a business protection from its creditors while the owners work out a turnaround plan for smaller companies. Though the extra time might not make any difference, bankruptcy cannot create more revenue, said Robert Keach, a restructuring partner at New England-based Bernstein Scher and former president at the American Bankruptcy Institute. Some owners fear bankruptcy could scar their credit reports and hurt their future chances to rebuild. Bankrupt businesses have a nearly 24 percentage point higher likelihood of being denied a loan, according to the SBA, and the filing can show up on a credit report for 10 years. That's one of Rebecca Snur's concerns. Things were looking up for Snur, 51, age 51 she is, and her jewelry and fair trade shop, New Lotus Moon in the Woodlands, Texas. She opened in 2018 and finally started to break even at the start of this year. Then the virus hit. After the store closed to walk-in customers, she said sales dropped and she couldn't cover rent. She emptied the shop around mid-May, moved her jewelry cases into storage, and dismissed her part-time employee. She's making minimum payments on nearly $50,000 in loans. What if I want to have a mobile boutique and go buy a vehicle for that? Would I be able to get a loan? Snur said. Lost revenue. To be sure, small business attrition is high even in normal times. Only about half of all establishments survive for at least 5 years, according to the SBA. But the swiftness of the pandemic and the huge drop in economic activity is hitting hard among typical upbeat entrepreneurs. About 58% of small business owners say they're worried about permanently closing, according to a July U.S. Chamber of Commerce survey. In a June 2020 NFIB survey, a net 31% of owners reported lower sales in the past 3 months, while 7% reported higher sales a year earlier. In the same survey, only 13% of business owners said it was a good time to expand, a dip from 24% a year earlier. Jose Gamis, who is age 45, and Letitia Gamis, who is age 52, closed their restaurant in Glendale, Arizona on July 31st. The bills started piling up, and while thousands in government loans helped, they weren't taking in enough cash. They had 4 part-time employees. It was too much of a gamble to keep Mi Vegana Madre open. Jose Gamis said the couple knew the dangers of taking risks after they lost the first house they bought during the 2008 crisis. We wanted to take that as a lesson, Jose Gamis said. Sometimes it's okay to let it go and not expend every penny. Now, what do you guys think? Now, business bus, basically, this is basically a pie chart. A restaurant industry leads with most local business closures. 2,451 closed due to event planning. 3,594 closed to automotive. 4,976 are for beauty. Retail and shopping is 7,881. 12,695 are restaurants, which is the second highest, compared to miscellaneous, which is at 28,553. Now, with everything going on, small businesses, mainly a lot of blacks who do have small businesses, have really been hit with a lot of loss. And this is what happens when a pandemic happens. Businesses can't survive. And that's why a lot of states you see are forcing their way to be open, like Texas and Florida did, and Georgia, because there's a lot of people who are small businesses who help their community flow well. So that's why they had to open up. But to me, the big businesses are always being looked after, like the Walmarts, the Amazons, and all of these big businesses. But small businesses always get the short hand of the stick. Does the United States not understand that what built this country was small businesses, was the community? And they've gone away from that. And it continues to go that way, hurting some of these mom and pop stores. The mom and pop stores have been dead for years, and they continue putting their foot on the mom and pop's necks. So people wonder why small businesses get upset or they're cursing people out. And then some of the people who were rioting, who mostly were the pink folk doing it, they destroyed businesses that a lot of blacks owned, and they can't reopen because of that mess. Now, what do you think? Do you feel like small businesses, do you feel like they're not making it because of the COVID, or do you think that they're not able to sustain because of the government not being able to handle this or take this seriously? To me, I believe the government didn't take this seriously. Donald Trump dropped the ball when he got rid of the people who were studying this disease. If he would have stayed ahead of this earlier, then I believe in heart of hearts that we could have had a containment on this on this pandemic, and it wouldn't have gotten out of hand like it has. So thank you for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you feel about the small businesses dying. Tell me about your small businesses by you. If you have any by you, tell me about it. Tell me, are you gonna miss it? Do you feel like it's unfair they're not gonna be there? And let me know in the comment section what you think about the video. Again, like, comment, please subscribe, please share this to everyone so everyone can listen to this, because they may have a small business and this may be some information that could help them get out of their debt and basically get out of the red, which is like debt. But like I said, thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please, when you hit the notification bell, select all so you can be notified of future videos. And we're out. La boy.